Are the Disney theme parks haunted? Videos of apparitions, unexplained animatronic movements, and mysterious malfunctions have circulated for years, leaving many fans convinced of the park's dark, supernatural bent. Two former employees agreed on a Reddit thread that 80% of the park in Florida is haunted. Here are some of the possible reasons behind the alleged hauntings, and some of the places you can check out if you want to get in touch with the spirits. Despite being the most magical place on Earth, for some, Disney parks are the site of grievous injuries or even death, and some visitors and employees claim that a few of the unlucky parkgoers are still sticking around. Disney historian Jim Korkis has recorded deaths including the 1984 passing of a woman named Dolly, who was thrown from her bobsled and killed by an oncoming bobsled on the Matterhorn ride. Employees claim her presence is still felt where she passed away and that it accounts for certain unexplained incidents. Debbie Stone was an 18-year-old castmate who passed away while working at America Sings, a now-defunct attraction where she was crushed between two walls, and she also reportedly still haunts the area. Regardless of these violent incidents, ghosts have been reported all around the park, and some have become familiar characters on certain rides. Mr. One-Way is a notorious presence on the ride Space Mountain. He's reported to be a red-headed young man who guests will speak to while in line for the ride. He's not up to date on the current park and wears 70s-era clothes. Sometimes, visitors riding solo will report riding next to someone of this description, who's not sitting next to them by the time they get back. Other areas where ghost sightings are common include the basement of the benign-looking Toontown, the Tower of Terror, Soarin', and It's a Small World. Disney parks have a disturbing habit of closing down rides and parks only to abandon them. Sometimes these once magical places come run down and downright spooky. Take River Country, Disney's first water park that was closed in 2001. The park was probably closed because of declines in supply and demand, but some visitors are skeptical of the park's dangerous history, which included multiple deaths, including the passing of an 11-year-old boy who contracted a brain-eating amoeba, and 2 cases of children drowning. For more than 20 years, the back of the park has been abandoned, decaying, and getting taken over by nature. Though no one has reported an otherworldly encounter in River Country, especially since visitors are technically barred from the abandoned area, these abandoned parks and rides are seriously creepy compared to the happy atmosphere Disney parks try to cultivate. Getting caught scattering ashes in a Disney park can get you kicked out and potentially banned for life, but lots of people take that risk to fulfill their loved one's final wish. According to the Wall Street Journal, in 2018, ash cleanups were reportedly happening about once a month. Ashes are spread across many attractions in the park, but most often they're scattered at the Haunted Mansion, making the ride way spookier than riders might expect. An incident of ash scattering can close a ride for hours, and employees clean up the ashes with a special vacuum. But with all those people's remains ending up in the parks, who knows what spirits are floating around? Pirates of the Caribbean was opened in the late 1960s. It was the last ride that Walt Disney worked on before his death, and the Imagineers were so thrilled with the quality of the ride and animatronics that they felt like using fake skeletons just wasn't good enough. According to a former employee who worked on the ride, the Imagineers acquired real skeletons from UCLA Medical Center. As fake skeletons increased in quality over the years, the originals were switched out and repatriated to their countries of origin. But some patrons still suspect that real bones linger around the ride, which obviously constitutes grounds for some hauntings. There are also reports of a welder named George who passed away during the building of the ride, and who is said to haunt it to this day. Employees report that if they don't wish George a good morning and a good night, the ride will malfunction during the day, leading to situations like this. Videos of so-called ghost sightings are always contentious, and there have been popular debunkings or alternative explanations offered for most of those filmed at Disney parks. So what do you think? Do you believe that the Disney parks are haunted, or are people just seeing what they want to see?